Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be covering my first match in the Blizzard Elite 8 Invitational against Fintech. Big thank you to Blizzard for inviting me to this. This is something that he's been wanting to test out for a while now. Leave a link to his channel in the description. He'll be covering all of these different matchups that we've got going on. And this first one for me is going to be against Finn. Finn is notorious for being a very, very good player, so this is going to be a really difficult match for me. And of course I get him in the first round. So what my strategy is here is to get rid of his Tigra, get rid of his Hulkling, get rid of his Juggernaut, just because I don't want him using the attackers that I know can do fights in 30 seconds in this meta. I don't want anything that he can potentially use to completely nuke anything that I have. So I went for those, and he went to ban my Nimrod, Guardian, and I think it was Rintra in the first round. He changes up his bans later on, and that also causes me to. You'll see what I mean. So first here I placed Mojo, just because I was trying to throw this round, really. I knew he had Torch, and I didn't want to save him for a later round in case, say, I get stuck in round 3. And he has Torch to use. I wanted to get that out of the way now, and potentially, if it comes down to it, he doesn't have a great counter for Rintra, so that does throw his Torch, and it also leaves me a better defensive option in the next round. Galen can do Killmonger pretty quickly if you can play around his Reverberation, and also in this meta, Galen is one of the best attackers. So what my plan is here is to bait out a heavy attack, as you'll see here. Yep. And then that means that Reverberation the first time around won't do any damage to me because he was at 0 power when it triggered. Now here I just want to build up as much planetary mass as possible and launch a massive special 1 or special 2 and detonate the harvest, and that should finish the fight. So just want to bait this out here, or not. Never mind. What I was planning on doing there was probably just trying to wait out the Reverberation. Okay, beta special 1, throw a heavy attack with 630, and that gets him to 4%. Almost there. Another combo should do it. Another combo and special 1, yeah. And you'll see here that, yeah, Torch does Torch things, nukes my Mojo. That's fine. I was planning on throwing the first round, just getting rid of his Torch. And you'll see in this next one, I place Rintra because he doesn't really have a good counter. First off, he ends up placing Quicksilver, I think. Yeah, Quicksilver. One thing that I don't really want to share, but you'll see in this video, I'm not very good at fighting Quicksilver. He's one of my weak champs against. I need to get a lot of practice in against him. He ends up using Hercules for my Rintra, and I use Valkyrie for this, trying to save my Killmonger for the last round, otherwise I would have used him here. So what the plan is here is just hit into block until he dies, basically. Try and use Rich Get Richer to my advantage, because Valkyrie has those Pierce buffs and those Bulwark buffs. He randomly throws a heavy attack there. What's annoying is every time I dex, I get a Whiplash on me as well, and this fight requires a lot of dexing. And I get tagged there, get 5 Whiplash on me, and that's going to be pretty big later on. Throw a special 2 into block here with Fury, and that Whiplash is absolutely brutal. So I'm below 50%, I'm not feeling great about this fight. I just need to make sure that I can get it down. And I get hit there. Yeah, I don't know what it is, I just don't like fighting Quicksilver at all. Big special 2 there. Yep, hopefully try not to get any more Whiplash buffs on me. I didn't there, I managed to bait the special 1 fully. He's just throwing hits in midair now, just being really erratic. and I end up getting the fight down. Not my best fight by any means, but I think my defender is probably going to be strong enough here to secure this round for me. Yeah, luckily for me, he does end up timing out here, but he did do that fairly cleanly. But I was able to take advantage of having a much better matchup than him, even though I didn't perform to the best of my ability. It is what it is though, a win's a win. So in this last round, I was expecting him to place Hyperion, because I didn't really have a counter, so I placed Havoc instantly. I was kind of surprised when he placed Domino here, because I could just use Ghost for it, and he must have been saving his Hyperion for my Havoc. Now, Hyperion can do Havoc very quickly if you get good RNG, and it can be a little bit slower just because of the less crit damage, but since Hyperion has the extra power gain from Rich Get Richer, it shouldn't really be much of a problem. So I know that I need to do this fight very quickly. So that parry failed. This is what I hate about Domino, she's just failing everything. I've taken 10% of my health already from crit fail damage, and I've not really done anything. So what I'd do there, intercept with a special 2, dash back, miss my precision already. So while she's lucky, all I want to do is a medium, just to make sure she doesn't evade. Never mind, I just completely went against what I said. Just launched a special 2 there, she's 7%. Hopefully this combo gets her down, and it does. That was 39 seconds. He could have done it that fast if he'd have got really good RNG, but looking at it, I think the Glock's gone by enough now to the point where he can't score high enough to take this one. So I take this first round 1-0. Okay, here I went for the exact same bans as before, and he bans all of my rank 4 tech champs, which was odd. I wasn't expecting him to do that. So now, at this point, I'm terrified of him drafting Domino. I just need to hope that he doesn't draft any good counters to my defenders. At the moment, I'm feeling alright. I've got counters to Galen, Valkyrie and Rintra and Thing. That Quicksilver does kind of scare me a little bit, so that's why I picked Stealth Spidey here. I picked Nick Fury because his best counter was probably Valkyrie, and that saves him using her anywhere else. He goes for... I don't think he actually went with Kitty in the end, did he? Yeah, he did. And CGR, which could have been a problem for my Terex, so I picked Doom here, I think. No, I picked Korg. I picked Korg because he didn't really have an amazing counter outside of Kitty, and I think that's who I placed in this first one, is it? No, I placed Havoc. I think I placed Havoc to try and get rid of his Galen. Yeah, I didn't know how fast this fight would be, so I threw Havoc down just to get rid of his Galen, and then I knew I could do this one with Galen as well. This is it's a good matchup, but it's hard to keep track of his rock stacks with all the power gain that you get, because his special 1's 3 hits and his special 2's 4 hits. So sometimes you can play around the rock stacks, sometimes it it's easy to mess up the combo. So what I want to do here is Dex and then throw my special 2. That pushes him to 15 while he's at 1 bar. And now I can bait the special out as well. The problem is mainly getting him to 15 while at less than 1 bar of power, and that's where people usually mess up this fight. So I throw my heavy attack there, go into the harvest, 2 hits, special 1, and it doesn't quite get him down. I should have probably waited a little bit longer to do that in hindsight, but there you go, it is what it is. Throw 1 more special off there, 1 more harvest, and this one should be over. Yep, and I get out of the fight and see he did that a little bit faster than me. If I had have waited a little bit longer, not entered the harvest so early, built up a little bit more, I probably could have taken that, but it is what it is. So this is the round that I end up placing Korg. I do kind of mix and match on who I do end up wanting to place, because I know he has Kitty, but he would also want to save her for Nick Fury. And he ends up placing Quicksilver here. Please don't watch this fight. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let it speak for itself. Just remember what I said earlier when I said I really dislike fighting Quicksilver. Yeah, I don't like that guy. Anyway, I'm going to cut this one short. It's no doubt that he won that. He did that in a very impressive time. I think he got 52,000 points on that. I saw the video when the match was done, and he played that incredibly. So very well played to him. He did a really good job there. Because he's banned all of my techs at rank 4, I've resorted to banning his Domino instead of his Juggernaut. Just because his Juggernaut's rank 3, the other 2 are rank 4, and that is a rank 4 Domino that I don't want to have to deal with without any of my really good counters. So I just thought it'd be probably best for me to take her off the table. So here in this one I go for Havoc first, just to try and bait out his Surfer, and here you'll see I fail in doing that and he uses Gallon. I did want to get rid of Surfer originally because Surfer was probably his best counter to Killmonger, and I use Hercules for this thing. Anybody that knows me knows that I have a pretty rough history with Hercules. I don't want to hear it. Please, not here. But you'll see every time I use Hercules, so I somehow figure out a way to mess it up. I don't know what it is, he's just not really my champ. And you'll see here, yeah, I get smacked a few times. And I think at this point, it's already kind of gone down the drain. Yeah, and I throw a heavy attack into midair. I don't know what in the moron I'm doing. Throw a special 1 there. I need to hit him a few more times on a nice intercept there. Get him to 15, need to bait the special out. I go to special 2 here. I'm hoping that the last hit doesn't crit, and it does. If it didn't, it probably wouldn't trigger protection. Now he's at 13 at half a bar of power. I go for a couple of heavy attacks here just to try and get him to 1 bar. Don't quite get him there. Bit of special attack at 15 after hitting block a little bit. Try and get some more damage off before the buffs fall off, and at this point I know I've lost it already because I definitely won't score enough to beat, especially based off what he did last time. He'll probably improve on that from having another fight. So I'm just going to go for some combos. I'm not going to go for the special 3 because it's just going to waste time. A couple more hits and he's down, and yeah, AQ started. Definitely not going to join. And yeah, 54,000 points. There's no way I was beating that. Not against a rank 4 thing. So what my plan is here is to place long shot, I think, and get rid of his Dr. Doom or his Black Cat potentially. He doesn't really have a good long shot counter, so I thought that was my best defender at this stage, and I end up going with Archangel for Rintra. The reason I do this is because I didn't really want to risk him potentially having a good fight here. I wanted to make I kind of put it at risk a little bit, let RNG decide. So at this point I was praying to the RNG gods to give me a good fight here, because if I had awful RNG I probably would have either died or timed out, or it would have been at least like 70 to 80 seconds. Luckily I get a very, very good start here. 5 neuros and 3 heavies. That's almost as well as it can go. So, I think this is a rank 4 intro as well. So 7 euros, I'm feeling good. I just need to not do something stupid, and I should have this one. Once I do something stupid, something like eat a special 2, because I know I can do that. I did it on the last one. There's nothing to stop me from doing it again. But as you can see here, 39 seconds and he's down. Now looking back, if I'd have known that fight would have gone as well as it did, probably wouldn't have placed long shot and saved him for the last round. But with Archangel, that's the thing I don't like about him. You never know whether it's going to be a good fight or it's just going to be kind of really messy and long. So if that was the case, I probably would have placed Killmonger now, but because I did end up winning that one, or because I did end up using long shot there, I do end up winning this. Again, 28,000, he does end up dying. I probably could have got away with saving that, but I didn't really want to risk it. You see in this last round that I end up placing Killmonger because he's probably the best defender that I have, even though Silver Surf is a pretty good counter, but he doesn't have any defenders really, so he places Valkyrie here. Valkyrie probably because she's a little bit tankier than Black Cat, and he wanted to use Surfer here. And also Valkyrie is fairly new, and Finn knows that I know how to fight Black Cat. Valkyrie, there is an ability that catches me off guard here. I did know about it, but I didn't think it would come into effect as much as it did. You'll see in a second. Just go for a parry here, 5 combo. Parry again and she purifies it. Now she has up to a 90% chance to purify debuffs based on block proficiency. I thought that only really came into effect when she had her bulwark buffs, but apparently not. And also, I didn't realise as well that the Fiora passives paused until you Dex. I'm pretty sure that's the case anyway. Yeah, I didn't realise that. I thought it was only buffs. So Valkyrie could catch people off guard as a defender, essentially. She could definitely do a lot of damage into block. But here I'm just kind of trying to rotate special 2s, make sure that I'm doing a lot of damage on my base hits at all times. Consistently keeping that overpower up. one more combo and she's down. Now, to my surprise, he does this very, very quickly, but also takes a lot of damage. I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but to get that down in 54 seconds, regardless of how much health he finished with, that's pretty impressive. So I'm up 2-1 at this point. I'm feeling pretty confident. I stick with the same bands, and to my surprise, he does the same thing. I was kind of expecting him to do something else because he knew that his strategy worked of getting me to ban his domino instead of having all my tech champs available for her. If he'd have banned other champs, that probably would have thrown me off a bit and made me change up a little bit as well. Either that or he wanted one of his attackers available. There I just swiped down to make sure I'm still recording. I'm feeling pretty good about my draft so far. Doesn't look like he has too many counters to the champs that I have, and I feel pretty comfortable dealing with all of his defenders. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, I could probably do this. I need to save my long shot for this second round, but if I can win this first one and save him, then I should be okay. So I start off by placing Rintra. This is going to be a pretty long fight for him. I end up using Terex. This is the start of the rise of Terex. I'm starting this trend now. If anyone wants to join me with the rise of Terex, you can. I don't do an amazing job of it in this fight, but there's more to come from him, I promise. So what I end up doing here is just building up as many armors as I can, and then throwing a heavy attack to get the guaranteed crit and take me out of Rockfield and leave me with a little bit more power. Or at least that's what I try to do. Yep, end up doing it there. She's about a third of the way down already. Big mistake I make here is forgetting how to dex like a moron. Luckily parry that special 1, but I did eat a special 2 that took about 10% of my health, and I couldn't really afford that. And I nearly do the exact same again. Block most of the special 2 and forget how to dex the last part of it, and that took another 10% of my health. Now you'll see in a sec. So what I do here, just one more combo and a heavy attack should be done. Yep. And you'll see here in a second that between those two, that ends up costing me this round. He finishes with 100% and does this in about 70 seconds, but overall he beats me by 270 points, which was my fault. I should have played it a little bit safer, or I don't even know what I did, but regardless, I didn't do a good job. So in this round, what it probably would have been best to do if I'd have won that last one is throw, but I can't afford to do that anymore, so I have to go all in, place long shot. You'll see here again that I'm stuck with fighting Quicksilver, and I, again, common theme of this, I don't like Quicksilver at all. But he is an Avenger, so Nick Fury's going to start off with the tactical charges and cause him not to evade. That still does mean that I have to deal with the annoying animations. He throws Toad here, and it's probably the smartest move on his part. Just throw his most useless champ out the window, and then make sure he can secure the win in the next one. Looking back, I probably could have used Archangel there and saved Nick for defense, but I didn't really think that through. I thought that he could use Toad for it, or could use Hercules, and that would have been faster than anything I could have done against his remaining defense. So looking at it, I really did need to win that first one, just to have any chance here. But it is what it is. I'm not out of it yet. Things could still potentially go wrong on his end, and I am also 2 rounds up to 1 at the moment, but this is definitely a lot closer than I'd like it to be. Here I let him throw a special 3 because I'm not really too worried about losing this one. I know I'm going to lose the last one, but right now as well, Nick can have the little trick where he enters a second life and goes back to 100% health. Here, forget how to parry like a moron. Eat a special 1 intentionally to get me to the second life. Eat a few more hits because why not? I'm just a bit of an idiot. Luckily the special 2 crits and finishes him, and I'm not expecting him to finish this fight off, purely because of how good Longshot is as a defender on this meta. Looking at who I have left, I realise that I genuinely don't have any shot here really. He can do anything that I place really quickly, and I don't really have a good attacker for his best defender. As you'll see here, he places Omega Sentinel, and I feel like my best option is Killmonger. It's between him and Archangel, and Killmonger's probably going to cause more problems, even for CGR, and I end up going with Overseer here. Again, it's not really an amazing matchup, but I could get it down, and looking back on this fight, I definitely could have got it down pretty well, but I was confident that I was going to lose this one. So my main focus is on the next one, not really winning this one. Here I have another moron moment where I just throw a heavy attack into midair because why not? I don't know what I was thinking there. If you guys want to see a moron counter for my Battlegrounds tournaments, like each individual one, then please let me know, because I could definitely get that arranged. It'll be embarrassing for me seeing that I've made it this far while having this many stupid moments, but if you guys want to see it, then I'm more than happy to do it. Here, I mistimed my special attack. I accidentally throw a special 2 instead of a special 1, and because of it, I end up eating a special 3, and this finishes me off. And yeah, I wasn't doing that in 27 seconds, so GG's to him. This takes us to round 5. And I go with the same bans, he goes with the same bans. He could have really thrown me off there if he'd have banned other champs, because he knew that I was going to ban those 3, since I did it the exact same thing in the first, or in the previous few. So if he'd have changed, then there's nothing really I could have done about it in the next one, because this is the last one. But at the moment, I'm feeling pretty good about my draft. I've got counters to everyone he has at the moment, and he doesn't really have that many great counters to Rintra or Havoc. I mean, he has Surfer for Havoc, but that could be potentially slow. He's also got a Mega Sentinel potentially for Havoc. I was expecting him to use her as defender, just because she's pretty good on Rich Get Richer. But here I wanted to go with Nick, but I felt like Surfer would have been better for either Omega Sentinel or Penny. So I end up placing Rintra first here, because I think I can do whoever he places faster than he can do Rintra. He places Nick, and I use Surfer here. At the time of this recording, Surfer's only rank 3. I did take him up to rank 4. And before anything happens in this fight, nah, I don't want to hear it. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Surfer is alright in this meta. I say alright, he's pretty good. He can take advantage of Rich Get Richer really easily. But I think this is like my second time actually using him. So please don't critique me that much. I don't know what I'm doing. At this point, I'm just kind of hitting and hoping for the best. I know that you have to use your power cosmic at the right time, but for me, I'm just not used to that yet, because again, I'm stupidly new to playing this guy. So I end up pushing him to a special 2 here, exactly what I wanted to do, and I don't even worry about using my power cosmic just yet. Just want to throw the special 2 off. Throw my special 1 off while I've got the power gain, just because I saw an opportunity, even though it did push him over 16. I didn't notice this at the time, but I did still have the unblockable, so that did kind of all work out in the end. I really need him to throw this special 2, and he does, so that I can throw mine off again just before anything happens. Go for a stand-up intercept because I'm unblockable. Luckily, he throws a special 2 instantly, and I can just go for 1 more special 2 here. That finishes him off. And luckily, I end up taking this one. Again, nah, I don't want to hear it. But yeah, you were right. Thank you. So this has got me feeling good about this, because he doesn't really have a fast option for Havoc. Omega Sentinel can do it, but it's still about a minute long fight. I was expecting him to place Rintra here, but he ends up placing Penny again. And that means that I can use Terex again. Again, this is the rise of Terex. He ends up using Omega Sentinel here. I'm pretty confident that I can not eat 2 special 2s again. So I should be able to do this one fairly quickly, a lot quicker than the other one was anyway. And I know that Omega Sentinel versus Havoc's probably going to take at least a minute. So as long as I'm clean in this fight, I should be able to do it. Now, before, no spoilers or anything, but this is this is my favourite fight that I've ever done in Battlegrounds ever. So 6 armor breaks, throws a special 1, able to bait the auto block, get her down to 7 charges. Again, with the armor breaks, it's really easy to break Penny's shield, and also when she auto blocks, she can't power drain me or power lock me because she's metal. That's another thing I really like about Terex, that he has just really niche pieces of utility like that. Big special 2. Go for 1 more light ending combo, refresh the armor breaks, and a special 2, oh, not a special 2, heavy attack crit to get Penny down in 44 seconds. And Finn, please correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that was a rank 4 Penny. And he's still in the fight. I finished with 98.6% health, and because he's taken a bit longer, luckily I'm able to win this one. You'll see after this as well, he did encounter a bug, which made his armor breaks expire a little bit quicker, but it didn't really affect the fight time at all. So I end up taking this 3-2, probably one of the closest matches I've had. So I'm moving on in the winners bracket. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I think I'm facing Legacy next week, so stay tuned to check that one out. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.